I actually had an amazing time overseas studying policy studies in Europe, specifically Germany, France, Belgium, and Luxembourg. Some of the highlights of this trip were when we visited the European Parliament and the International Court of Justice. The class structure, it varied depending on the day. Um, Most days we would go to a department and we would have a guest lecturer, and they would lecture for anywhere from an hour to maybe 3 hours. And of course, we would take notes, ask questions. Um, but at the beginning of the day, we would always see what we want to take out of it to incorporate that into our final research paper um, for the class. We actually had to do two papers. The first paper was a 5-page paper, and we had to talk about an organization and compare it to an organization in America. So that was the first paper. The second paper was to compare an initiative or program that Europe has implemented and talk about if it would be effective if America implemented that same program, or would it not be effective, and explain. And that was a 10-page research paper. That was actually something I did when I came back from the trip. Since in combined it was 15 pages, it was ideally great if you had begun working on it right when you got back, so the information is fresh on your mind. So if you procrastinated, you might have to refer back to your notes and all the pamphlets and handouts and brochures that you received. But I think I did fairly well on my assignments. Although I'm uncertain about where exactly I want to be placed and find a career at, I do know that it will probably be in policy studies, since that is my major. And the benefit of this study abroad trip was that I can now use my experiences that I learned and gained overseas and compare that to whatever I'm faced with in America. For example, they're real big on sustainability and green energy. So if I, decide to work for the city of Atlanta, I'm always going to have that background and that passion for green energy and sustainability. So I think that's a direct benefit. So I actually was visiting the parliament. I guess just walking into the room where we see all the countries seated, and you see where the translations are done. Um, I was able to compare that experience to when I visited Washington, and I walked into the Congress floor, and it kind of resembled that. And for me to be able to see both of them, I was able to compare and contrast how policies differ in amongst various countries. Well, as a tip, I would definitely encourage students to research the places that you will be visiting, so you can ask intelligent questions when you get there. Um, Try to learn basic language such as hi, bye, thank you, you're welcome. I think things like that will make the trip just a little bit more enjoyable, especially when you're talking with um, the residents of the country. And another tip would be to get to know the students that you're traveling with.